How's it going, everybody? Savvier just saying what is good to all my Super Saiyan homies, here to bring you all sorts of Dragon Ball gaming content. If you enjoy the video, please consider hitting that thumbs up, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you don't miss out on any future content. That being said, today what we're going to do is we're going to look at the Super Trunks, the new green one that we got from the BoJack movie, and we're going to do a little equipment guide for him. I was planning on having a drunk PvP up for today, just didn't end up working out with just the way my schedule was. I also wasn't feeling too great yesterday, so I didn't end up actually recording it last night. I'm going to record it tonight instead, so that should be up tomorrow. With that being said, for this guy, what we're primarily going to focus on is strike attack and blue card damage, since he is a melee unit, and his kit kind of centers around drawing blue cards. He's really just an overall, his goal is to be a damage dealer, so that's kind of how we're going to treat him, is just as a big damage boy. First, we have the Awaken triple exclamation point. This one's kind of interesting because, well, yes, it's not focusing on blue card damage, and it is double offense for blast attack and strike attack. It is giving a pure buff for both strike attack and blast attack per hybrid Saiyan battle member. And so even if you're running him on movies and you're only running him alongside the Revival Gohan, this is still an invaluable passive for pretty much any movie hybrid, or really any hybrid for that matter, because even if you're running it on the, the LF Future Gohan as well, this is really valuable. So you can get the Unawakened version of this in the equipment medals, but you could also get it in the hybrid event. So when you go to the equipment event and you want to use your skip tickets, you can go over to the hybrid Saiyan one and skip a bunch and get a bunch of these, and then obviously you need the Awakening in Ultra Space Time Rush. So let's move on to the next one, because I'm kind of babbling a little bit. Next up is one you can get with Z medals or equipment medals, and I would even argue that you could probably even use the unawakened version of this one as well. We have the Awakened Ha, and this one applies to it applies to all Saga from the movie characters. And what's nice about this is it's got double defense and strike attack, all at a fairly high number, 18% for both defenses, 20% for strike attack. Well, yes, we want to kind of focus on his offense. I would say 20% is a very solid number to look at, and I mean, he's not necessarily the tankiest of boys. You don't want him to tank too much because you do want him to get some damage on him to get all of his buffs, as well as him having the death buffs, but I still, 20% I still think is a valuable number. Next, we've got the Awaken, Hold On to My Shoulder. This one you can get the unawakened version in the equip medals, and then obviously you know where to get the Awakenings. But for this guy, I like it a lot because, well, yes, you're getting the one defensive slot in the middle for 20%. You're getting a pure 6% for Saga characters, as well as crit at the beginning of that first slot, and even the unawakened version does a pretty decent job of this as well, because it really just bumps everything down, I believe, like 1 to 2% per slot. Like, I think it's 12.5 for the crit, 18 for whatever the defense slot is, and 5% for the pure buff. So regardless of whether you have this Awakened or Unawakened, it's a very solid equip to have for most of your Saga characters, and I believe the Awaken is for Saga melee types. Yep, that's the right one. Alrighty. Let's move on to the next one. Next, we have the Awaken Just You Wait androids, and this one you can get with the equipment medals as well. And this one is one of the newer ones to the Ultra Space Time Rush Awakenings, but the stats here are pretty phenomenal. 25 for blast defense, 15 for special move, which is something we're looking for him, which is a very good number, 15%, and then 30% to blast or strike attack. You want to roll strike attack for this guy, but whichever one you end up rolling, it's going to be solid for whichever hybrid you ever end up giving this to. It does apply to hybrid futures, so yeah, I don't know, I think this is a pretty valuable one to have as well. There's not really many ranged ones, so I would say definitely strike is probably the better one you want to look for, but this is great for him, for LF Future Gohan. Definitely a solid equip to roll. Next up, we have the Why Don't You Try Me On for size. Now, this one you can get in the Broly story event right now for Zenkai Fury Broly. And so for that, I would say you only have a few days to get this one, so if you're gonna want to farm this one up, do so now. This one has some very solid rolls as well, 15% to blast defense, 20% to strike attack, and 12.5 to special move. I love having this one because it applies to green movie characters, so I actually use this as well for my, for my green Zenkai Broly as well. I think this is a wonderful equip to have for green movie characters. Yeah, definitely would recommend farming it up while you still can. Next up, we have Boundary Breaking Vegeta, which you can get in the Z Metal shop right now. This one's pretty interesting because it is a purely offensive equip, but you're getting 13% to blast attack, you're getting 10% to special move, and then you're getting 5% for each Vegeta family battle member that you have. So Well, yes, this may not be the greatest thing to run for him on movies because, you know, you're not really running other Vegeta family members on movies. This is a very solid equip, I would say. And honestly, there are definitely builds because, you know, if you're not running the LF Revival Gohan because you don't have him, you could be running the purple ROC Vegeta. So, yeah, honestly, even if it's just him, even if he's the only Vegeta family member, a 5% pure buff just for him existing, I still think is pretty valuable. And then again, having special move and really just an all-over offensive equip, I think is really solid for this dude. Next, we have Let's Go, which you can get from, from the current EX Bojack event that we've got going on. And this one's a lot of fun. I've actually been looking forward to this equip for a while before it's dropped because it was released in the data mines just before it was released. This one's pretty cool because it's got 10% to special move, 15% to strike attack, and 20% to key recovery. It's very similar to the, to the Hurry Up and Die equip with Cell on it that applies to all range type units. The difference being the highest stat here is key recovery as opposed to blast attack, or rather strike attack in this case, but it's it's the same 3 stats, so I think this is a very valuable equip to do, and it does apply to all Saga's characters, so yeah, definitely thought it was very worthwhile to mention. Next, we have the Super Gohan equip, which you can not only get with your equipment medals, but you can also get it from the coins that you get from the Legends Road Gotenks event that's going on. So you get about, I think, 400 to 500 of those coins a day. Costs 10 coins to get one of these bad boys. So yeah, daily you could be farming up to like 50 of these equips, and hopefully that'll give you a chance to roll something really solid for this, because it is a very solid equip. It's got strike defense and possibly blast defense in the middle, or blast attack, and then a pure buff of 5% to strike attack per hybrid Saiyan. So very solid equip, applies to all green hybrid Saiyans. Yeah, I don't think it matters what you end up rolling at the end of the day, because 15% isn't super crazy in terms of defense, so I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to have the double defense roll, but if you do end up having double offense, great, even better. So yeah, that's that. We're going to move on to one final equip, and we'll call it a video. Lastly, we've got the But You Forgot One Thing, I'm My Father's Son, and this one is found in the, the exchange shop for Ultra Space Time Rush right now. They cost about 200 Rush medals to get, and yeah, that's that. It's not a lot at all. You're getting critical, and then 2 strike attacks right here. So you're getting no defense whatsoever, which is fine. No special move, fine. No blast attack, fine. I think what really does it for me is the fact that you can be getting up to 33% to strike attack just off of this one equip. And yes, I know you're sacrificing pretty much everything else, but that on top of critical, and the fact that he's a Super Saiyan, if you end up running him with Bardock, this is a deadly equip for him to have, and it's very accessible right now because again, for 200 for 200 rush medals, it's absolutely nothing, and it applies to every hybrid Saiyan. So yeah, definitely worth farming up while you can for a reasonable and easy to come by resource. That's it. I hope you guys found this one helpful. If you did, please leave a like so that someone else can maybe find it helpful as well, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Thanks for the support, guys.